This is Angel Reese. Go ahead and play it. She needs a lot of attention. Go ahead.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not
Move. Okay, so average WNBA viewership.
Oh boy, Angel Reese just took a massive L, and it came at the hands of none other than Patrick Bet David.
I don't really get to stand up for myself. I mean, I'm strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been.
The LSU champion turned WNBA rookie thought she could rally the league to sit out over pay, but she didn't expect someone to bring a calculator to her emotional rally. And let's just say, reality hit her harder than a WNBA flop.
Got it. So Rob, go to ChatGPT and play the following. Type the following thing. How much did the WNBA lose in 2024? You can type that up. How much did the
40
WNBA
million bucks.
So
40?
Lose in 2024. They lost 40 million. Oh, Rob, if you go up and ask the other question as well, ask, is it true that the WNBA makes money when they don't play? Is it true that the WNBA makes money when they don't play? Ask that question.
What does that mean?
Yes, in a way, the WNBA has historically lost money and receives financial support from the NBA, which means that the WNBA games are not played. The league can actually save money by avoiding operating costs.
Angel Reese, fresh off her rookie season where she's been, well, average at best, is now threatening to lead WNBA players on a strike over pay. Yes, you heard that right. A league that barely gets TV ratings, struggles with ticket sales, and has been financially propped up by the NBA for decades is now supposed to magically fork over millions because Angel Reese said so. Talk about entitlement. The Bayou Barbie really thinks she's that girl, huh? Meanwhile, Caitlin
Liberty players around her. Fans yelling to get the ball.
Enter Patrick Bet David. The guy actually sat down, did the math, and dropped a brutal truth that Angel Reese and her supporters weren't ready for. He laid it out plain and simple. WNBA players are already overpaid relative to what the league generates. If anything, Caitlin Clark deserves a raise because she's the only reason people even care about this league right now.
Makes money when they, so if they go on a strike, the NBA is like, awesome. Okay, however, let me give you some data. Here's the only thing that you got to look at. WNBA has lost money every single year since 1997. According to the reports, the WNBA has operated an annual loss of $10 to $12 million. NBA has owned half of the WNBA financial support. NBA players pay for their salaries, by the way. If the WNBA has broadcasting and sponsorship agreements that often pays out regardless of how many games are played, if the league cuts costs while the 2026 keep go a little bit low, Rob, if the NBA runs on, bottom line is that WNBA doesn't make any money. Go back to the other question that we asked all the way at the top. There's a number that came up, which is their argument, which you have to kind of defend the argument that they're making. WNBA's attendance had a record-breaking high in 20 years with a total of 2.3 million fans attending games, okay? You know what the increase was from 2024 to 2023 in attendance in a year? 48%. That's massive for them. So that's the argument they're making. That's the Caitlin Clark effect.
Phenomenon, yeah.
Then, and when it comes down to merch from 23 to 24, they're up 601%. Then when it comes down to being broadcasted on ESPN.
He's talking about a strike is like a fast food worker demanding CEO pay while the restaurant is still losing money every month. It just doesn't add up. Look, let's keep it real. Angel Reese's game is mid at best. She's barely watchable, can't hit open shots, and plays the victim when she doesn't get calls. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is literally selling out arenas, bringing in viewership, and making women's basketball exciting. And you want to know the crazy part? Clark isn't even the one demanding more money. She's just out here hooping, while Reese is crying about paychecks.
Like if I was the NBA, and the NBA was the face of what? BLM, DEI, ESG, all the bullshit, right? Mm-hmm. That the NBA was a face of. You know how the NBA views the WNBA? It's marketing dollars. They're losing money every year, but they're gaining votes. That's how they view it. They're viewing
even more than they already are. The NBA stops funding them because why? Fund a league that refuses to play? And Caitlin Clark, the only real draw, goes overseas or gets fed up. That means the WNBA collapses faster than Angel Reese's shooting percentage. This isn't a power move, it's career suicide. And the craziest part, Angel Reese doesn't even realize she'd be the last player any league would fight to keep. If the WNBA lost her, would anyone even notice?
Biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period. Like, we're going to fix that.
Yeah.
That's fixable for you. And I think that's probably the biggest. I think your shot.
There's entitlement, and then there's whatever Angel Reese is doing. The WNBA has been running on financial life support for decades, with the NBA acting as its sugar daddy, keeping the league afloat through subsidies. Despite this, Reese, who has barely completed her rookie season, believes she is owed more money, not because she brings in more revenue, not because playing in half-empty arenas and generating barely enough revenue to pay its players what little they already earn. And yet, here's Angel Reese, a player whose skill set is mid at best, demanding even more money.
Clark! Hammer!
That's right. Reese is being reviewed for a possible upgrade to a playground.
I think it'll be upgraded here. And, she gets her really hard there.
But let's put things in perspective. The NBA isn't just helping the WNBA out, it's outright bankrolling the league's existence. Let's start with some harsh facts. Unlike the NBA, which generates billions in revenue, the WNBA has never been profitable. Reports suggest that the league loses around $10 million annually, a deficit that the NBA covers just to keep it alive. Without the NBA's intervention, the WNBA would have folded a long time ago. The NBA doesn't just invest in the WNBA, it subsidizes it. It covers marketing costs, arena expenses, and even player salaries to an extent. This isn't charity, it's a business move to maintain the image of, quote, supporting women's sports, quote, even though the demand for the WNBA simply isn't there.
You're about to witness something you've never seen before. Angel Reese made a layup.
Bring in more money. The NBA generates over $10 billion a year, while the WNBA barely cracks $60 million. That's not even 1% of the NBA's revenue. So the real question is, where exactly does Angel Reese expect all this extra money to come from? One of the most baffling parts of Angel Reese's complaints is that she's acting like she's struggling to survive. But let's break it down. Reese makes around $74,000 in her first season. That's more than what the typical American household earns, which was $74,580 in 2022, according to U.S. Census data. She gets free flights, meal stipends, and housing assistance perks that regular jobs don't offer. Before even stepping onto a WNBA court, Reese had already secured millions through endorsements. She signed a major deal with Reebok, handpicked by Shaquille O'Neal himself, and she earned over $1.7 million in college through name, image, and likeness deals that doesn't include her sponsorships with McDonald's, Zoe Energy, Amazon, and more.
With the 7th pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky...
Well, there it is, Angel Reese, the 7th overall pick of this draft.
So how exactly is she struggling to pay her bills? Are we supposed to believe that making the same amount as a typical family man supporting a wife and 2 kids isn't enough for her? What's really happening is that Reese doesn't want to live like the average American. She wants to live like an NBA star, private jets, designer outfits, luxury cars, but without the viewership, ticket sales, or talent to back it up. And when reality hits, she blames the system instead of looking in the mirror. What makes this situation even more ironic is that Angel Reese is actively making the WNBA worse, not better.
Like Angel Reese is like, I'm also the reason why the WNBA is doing very well. Data says otherwise, sweetheart, because the data says the average WNBA attendance at a game is 7,300. The average game that you play in is 10,000, but the average game that Caitlin Clark goes home or road is 15,600. They're not that interested in you. They're interested in Caitlin Clark, not because of her skin color, because she's an underdog, and America's always loved underdog. Whether your name is Serena Williams, whether your name is Tiger Woods, whether your name is Caitlin Clark, we like underdogs, right? And numbers never lie. A person can hate Joe Rogan all they want. He's number one in 94 countries on Spotify. This last week, Candace Owens posted the top 3 podcasts on Spotify. Was Rogan 1, Tucker 2, and Candace was 3, right? Now, what do those 3 have in common? Just the fact that they have
Clark, not Angel Reese. Yet, instead of focusing on her game, Reese has spent more time stirring up controversy, whether it's beefing with fans, creating fake rivalries, or playing the victim card when things don't go her way. Drama might work in reality TV, but it won't save a dying league. While players like Caitlin Clark are bringing in new fans, Reese seems more interested in driving them away with her attitude. She's cultivated a fan base that complains about race and politics instead of actually growing the sport.
Angel is at the top tier level. She plays so hard. She has such a high motor. Those are the things that got her here. But her work ethic and the time that she's committed already to putting into her game will keep her in the league.
And now she wants to take the entire league hostage by threatening a strike over wages. How does that make any sense? Angel Reese and her supporters clearly don't understand economics. Let's entertain her fantasy for a second. What if the WNBA players actually went on strike for higher pay? The WNBA would lose even more money. The league is barely surviving as is. The strike would just accelerate its collapse. The WNBA already drains resources from the NBA. Why would the NBA keep funding a league where players refuse to play? If Caitlin Clark or other marketable players left for Europe, what reason would anyone have to watch the WNBA? Brands invest in the WNBA out of goodwill, but if it becomes a circus of entitled players, demanding money they haven't earned, companies will pull out fast. This would be the fastest self-destruction in sports history. Angel Reese has done nothing to justify higher pay. She isn't a superstar. She isn't a ratings booster, and she certainly isn't leading the WNBA to new heights. She's a rookie with an inflated ego and a complete lack of self-awareness. She already makes as much as the average American household, yet she complains that it's not enough. Meanwhile, she's living off millions from endorsements but still wants the WNBA to throw even more cash at her. And now, she's threatening a strike, as if she and her WNBA colleagues are irreplaceable. The truth is, if Angel Reese left today, the only impact would be less drama and fewer airballs on live TV. If she really wants more money, she has 2 options. Get better at basketball because right now she's unwatchable, or she should start her own league. Let's see if she can convince anyone to pay to watch her miss layups. Until then, Angel Reese should be grateful for the paycheck she gets because without the NBA's charity, she wouldn't be getting one at all. When Angel Reese started making noise about higher WNBA salaries, PBD wasn't having any of it. Reese, after barely completing her rookie season, is already talking about striking for better pay, a laughable demand considering the WNBA struggles to generate revenue. Patrick Bet David, a man who built a multi-million-dollar empire, understands something. Reese and her entitlement-fueled mindset don't. You don't get paid based on what you want. You get paid based on what you earn. Aren't bringing in enough money to justify their demands. If the WNBA could sustain itself, there wouldn't be a need for these constant salary debates. Reese, despite making millions in college through endorsements, now expects even more money from a league that doesn't even break even. Where does she think this money is supposed to come from? Patrick Bet David made it clear. If Reese and her supporters isn't backed by performance or profit,
I don't really get to stand up for myself. I mean, I have great teammates. I have a great support system. I got my hometown. I got my family that stands up for me. I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened.
Angel Reese can complain all she wants, but Patrick Bet David just exposed her for what? She is an entitled player demanding handouts instead of proving her worth. Until she understands business, she'll keep embarrassing herself on and off the court. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. Stay tuned.